becomes the crowned queen. And of course, we also have another gentleman who many people know about, in the field with us here. Big up the team who actually handles the franchise locally. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for having me.
All right, so Michael, I'm going to start because they're going to ask, Michael, did they tease you at school with that name?
Oh, yeah, of course. Especially in primary school. I went to St. Richard's Primary. No bad vibes to you guys, but...
you guys. Take the crown. But, yeah, the teasing. How did you manage that seriously, though?
You know, I guess it was really hard for me when I was growing up, and obviously I really hated the name. And when you're a girl and you're trying to identify with yourself and, you're liking boys and that kind of stuff, it's not very easy to start off with, hi, my name is Michael.
Yes.
But you know what? As I got older, I realized how unique the name is, and I've grown to appreciate it so much because really there's no one else with the name, and I'm really, really happy to have it.
And I asked that question because, first of all, it's spelled differently. And sometimes you hear some people and the names and you realize, did their parents have an idea that they were going to be great? Were they going to be a star? Sometimes I said that is just a star name, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm sure it may have helped you having to build your character, with all the probably bullying and name calling. So fast forward to your career in modeling. How did that begin?
Well, my hats off to Kingsley Cooper. He actually discovered me with my agency Select in London. And they had a joint search, and I decided, you know what, this is an opportunity that I've always wanted, so I decided to go for it, and here I am.
So you started out in Jamaica. You were scouted from Jamaica.
In Jamaica.
And then you enjoyed a career in modeling.
In modeling in London, Paris, Spain, and most recently New York.
Okay, so you still have that under your belt. Now, tell us a little bit about the academic side of Michael. You did degrees. What have you been doing? What was your background like for school?
Well, academically, Michael has just finished her degree at the University of the West Indies.
Yes. And what's the degree in?
I majored in marketing, minor in psychology. And you know what? It's funny because I really, really enjoy the subject of psychology so much that I'm wondering if I should have majored in psychology. So if you see me in 4 or 5 years saying that I'm majoring in psychology, don't be surprised.
No, I won't. I don't think I'm going to be surprised because clearly you're on that trajectory to great things.
Thank you.
So what encouraged you to get involved or want to be a part of, to represent your country in this space in your newly crowned role?
Well, you know what? The first Miss Universe pageant I ever watched was the one in which Yende was representing us.
Really?
Yeah, and I remember my mother was so excited I could hear people down the road cheering. I remember the feeling of excitement and of pride watching her and hoping that she would win. The feeling is something that stuck with me my entire life, and I knew since then that I wanted to represent my country in the Miss Universe pageant. I just didn't know when.
Right.
And this year felt like the right year for me to go and try.
And this year felt like the right year, all with COVID included?
Yes.
Well, 2020 actually. Because we're still saying this year like it's this year, but it's 2020. That year, how did you actually, what made you decide, okay, all the chaos going on, but this is the time for me? What do you think pushed you in that direction?
You know what, 2020 has shown me that life is going to be full of surprises, and you can make all these wonderful, illustrious plans about what you're going to do and who you're going to be, but really, it comes down to being dynamic and being able to roll with the punches of life. And, I wanted to do it this year, to be very honest, since before COVID started, and COVID was kind of like knocking down all the plans on it. I was like, you know what, COVID is not going to rain on my parade. I'm going to do it this year because I said I would.
And so I like that word that you use, rain, because now you're the reigning queen. And fast forward to you took the parade, and congratulations, for that. But what would you want? What are your expectations for the global competition as you represent our country?
Well, I hope to win.
Yeah, you hope to win?
I've heard so much about the pageant overseas, and I'm hoping that it will be a good experience for me. I know that I'm going into it with the support of my country and so many people who really are proud of me and want to see me do well.
Yeah.
So I'm going into it armed with their faith and with their support, and I hope I have a great time.
What do you plan to do with your the position that you are in, where people are looking up to you, as the reigning queen for the Miss Universe Jamaica, and then of course you plan to be Miss Universe globally? What do you expect the role to allow you to do for other people?
Well, to be honest, I've always tried to carry myself in a way that people could look up to me. I think that no matter who you are, you might think that people aren't looking at you and people aren't trying to emulate you and aren't inspired by you, but it's not true, you know? No matter where you are, who you are, what you're doing, people are inspired by you. So I've always tried to hold that in my mind and be someone who is worthy of people looking up to her.
Isn't that a hard task?
Yes, but you know, you have to be yourself.
Yeah.
The truth is that, as I said, no matter what you're doing, people will look up to you. So it's best that people look up to you for being yourself and doing the things that truly make you happy. Instead of trying to work to please them, I think people will be happy with you either way. And those who won't be either way.
What do you think your plans would look like after, you move to the other stage, you win and move on? What would be the plans post-Queendom?
That's a good question. I think now that I've decided to not try to make too many plans for myself.
As you said, yes.
I'm scared I'll make a plan and say I'm going to do this and then, there'll be COVID 2.0.
Oh, no, it won't.
It's true, sorry.
Yeah. No. I totally understand, though. Something throwing the punches, but as you said, you're not sure.
No.
Pretty much.
I'm seeing where life leads me.
Well, it's clearly been leading you on a really great path.
Thank you.
What do you want to say to a young girl who has a dream? Who has a dream like what you had to represent at such a great level, a high level, their country and their dreams? What would you want to say to a young girl watching this television program this morning?
I think what I'd want to say to a young girl watching the television program this morning is that the best thing you can do, the best person you can do, or best person you can be is yourself. I know that, with social media and with all these things coming at you, you might feel like you want to be someone else or you might want to look like someone else, but ensure that your opinion of yourself comes from you. And ensure that when you think about what you want to change or who you want to change to be, it is because you personally want to be this person or change to look this way. Because at the end of the day, I always say, the most beautiful people among us will always be the people who embrace themselves and love themselves and value themselves. No matter what the standard of beauty is, this is what's going to be beauty 10, 100, a million years from now.
Awesome. If there is one thing that people don't really know about Michael, what would that thing be that you probably want people to know? What's that thing about you that people may not know, but you might want them to know?
That's a good question. One thing about Michael that you may not know that I would want you to know is that, you know what, I'm not always perfect. I think sometimes I struggle with myself and, I tell people all the time that I have anxiety and they're like, really? Wow, you?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we all have things that we have to work on, no? We all have issues within ourselves and times when we don't feel positive or we don't feel happy.
Yes.
And, if there's a lesson that you can learn from me, it's just to do your best. That's all you can do all the time, to just do your best. I mean, you're not going to be happy all the time. You're not going to feel positive all the time. And no one is, and no one will ask you to be perfect. You just have to do your best and be the best version of you.
Of you, loving you first. All right. I'm sure all of this preparation has a lot of teamwork involved. What are some of the things that you have to be prepped on and being prepared for the big day?
Well, I'm so excited to work with Luciera. She's going to be the pageant coach for me sometime later this year. I do have an excellent team behind me. Carl Williams, Mark McDermott. Yes, I have to name drop them,
Yes.
I'm going to have to be preparing, going to the gym and working on speech classes, that kind of thing for interviews. And I'm really, really excited to get into it because I know I can do so well. So wish me luck because it's going to be grueling, but it's going to be worth it.
And you're ready. And I'm sure, everyone, I know one of the things that we see all the time during this kind of competition is the fans in the diaspora, Jamaicans living outside of the country, just kind of waving the flag as well. Have you gotten some feedback from those Jamaicans living overseas, even from winning this crown so far?
Yes. Everyone has been so supportive. Everyone has been so nice to me. I'm so grateful for it, and it's a good point to think, sometimes you feel so small. Like I feel just like myself, one person.
Yeah.
And it feels good to know that there are so many people who feel represented by me, and
Yes.
there's so many people
Yes.
who are supporting me, you know. So if you even feel small and you feel like you're one person, you're not. You know, I am Jamaica, and I am all the people who support me and the diaspora.
Yes.
So,
well, there's this saying that, you know, we stand on the shoulders of those before us. So stand on our shoulders and make us proud, Michael. Thank you. It was a great time meeting with you this morning. Where can we continue to follow your journey?
You can follow my journey on the official Miss Universe Jamaica pages.